Now it's time to lace up.
Good evening and welcome to the first episode of Laced Up this semester. I'm Rose Carter, joined today by Erica Johnson and Terah Barrio. Now, for those of you who don't know, this show is completely ran by women from the ground up.
Still to this day, women are underlooked and underrepresented in the sports industry. But we are here and continuing to change the game.
And to begin, we have to start talking about how Washington hired the first NFL African-American female coach.
Yes, that is honestly very empowering and well-deserved because not only has she had experience leading into this, I mean, she's already coached in in the NFL, the AFF, and also in college rank.
Yeah, and it's not even coaching experience, it's playing experience, which I think really carries over for the players that she's coaching, knowing that she was killing it when she was playing with the Carolina Phoenix. And she was a 7-time All-American quarterback and wideout for them.
Yeah, and I think that coaching experience really just sets the bar for women and for her for that position and taking that role and that respect of it too. So that's just awesome for her to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I honestly believe that she's going to be in the NFL for a long time. I don't think this is just a one-year kind of thing. I think that this is a start of something big for her.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, there's a woman that actually is in the NFL for the 49ers, Sowers. Katie Sowers, she's for the 49ers. She's the offensive coordinator, and she just, they had a big year this year going to the Super Bowl. She led that team to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's so cool, and she's a woman doing it.
Yeah, and another thing is, I think it's so great that coaches like Ron Rivera, Kyle Shanahan, they're giving these women opportunities.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think that it's just going to grow even more as it continues and as more women get into the positions.
Yeah.
So, recently, Netflix released a show called Cheer. In the show, it gives notice to the sport of cheerleading, which also explores the history and lives of cheerleaders.
Cheerleading is more than just the voices you hear on game day. It requires grit, grind, and a ton of strength.
Laced Up reporter Angel Cooper talks to the CSU cheer team about their hard work they put in outside of game day.
These are the counts that are put into every practice that sets up the CSU cheerleading team for game day.
We practice all the time, 5 days a week. Game days are usually on Saturdays, so basically you get Sundays off, and sometimes there'll be a throw-in workout on Sundays too. But I think we just know, if you've ever been in the cheer world, if you have family in the cheer world or anything, you know those stereotypes aren't true, and so we just try and really prove it as much as we can. Like, if people want to come and watch us practice, please come and watch us practice, because I promise we're hard workers, we are athletes.
There are always stereotypes that surround cheerleaders, and the fact that some people don't even think they practice, when in reality, they push each other to their limits and open up the map for everyone.
I never felt like I fit into any of the really masculine sports, so cheer was always very welcoming to me. It was something that made me happy, something that made me feel comfortable. I didn't feel discluded in it, so that's one of the main reasons why. And I mean, it's just been very great for me.
When it comes to being a teammate, it's not just about encouraging each other, but pushing one another and working on trust.
Every person has to bring their A game, and they have to work as a team, because one person can't carry it all. Coach can't carry it all, no matter how much she tries. So it's really just trusting everybody. When you throw that girl in the air, that girl has to trust that they're going to catch them and that you're just going to be there for them. So I think just being a team is making sure that everyone brings their best foot forward and that you try 100% of your time, because the person next to you is trying 100%.
It's important to work as a team because, if one person in it is not if they don't check themselves in and they're not, there in the moment, then it can just mess the whole routine up. It's kind of like a domino effect. If one person messes up, the routine there's little things that just keep happening. So, I mean, if we don't work as a team, then there really is no team. We all have to come together and put aside our differences.
To be a part of the family, they have each other's backs, but are also able to clear their face of emotion and put on a smile for the crowd. They build each other up, and they are welcoming to everyone.
My favorite part is the family you get. You know, even if you don't want to, you're gonna become friends and family with these people just because you're around them 24/7, and that can be hard.
From Moby Arena, I'm Angel Cooper, CTV 11, Laced Up.
Yeah, cheerleading is such a sport. It's such an athletic sport, and you know, people don't realize that they do so much more after game day. You know, they don't just do game day.
Yeah, I think it was so good that everyone could see how hard they practice, because I was actually there filming that package, and they were saying people think they don't even practice. They just show up and look pretty. Like, that's not how it is.
I don't know if both of you have seen the new cheer documentary that she had mentioned before her package, but in the first episode alone, they right away were squashing those stereotypes because they know that, you know, that's what a lot of people think. So they're like, no, this is not what happens, and we're more than just what people think we are. And I think that was really great of them to do.
Yeah, and I was a cheerleader myself. I know those stereotypes, and no one thinks that you actually are doing more than just standing on the sidelines. And you definitely are.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a sport. Well, Rams, we're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned.
Because Angel Cooper will be back for a live interview with CSU soccer player Lauren Jones to bring awareness to Black History Month.
We will be right back.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch.
Till September.
I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I am a 16-year-old boy who just got my first job to help feed my little sisters. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Welcome back from the break. I'm Angel Cooper, joined by Lauren Jones, junior defender from the CSU soccer team. Thank you for coming, Lauren.
Yeah.
So let's begin. Black History Month has been celebrated for almost 94 years, yet there's so many issues that still exist. Why is Black History Month so important to celebrate?
That's a good question. I think Black History Month is important to celebrate because it's an opportunity for us to get the chance to learn about some of our accomplishments, and I think historically kind of that's taken for granted. So I think this month is really dedicated to learning a lot about what we bring to the table and, you know, stuff like that.
Do you have any special traditions that you celebrate?
Me personally, no. I don't think I know anyone that does either, but I don't know, I just like learning all about it. You know, you go on Twitter and you find out, you know, peanut butter, the stoplight, the radio that sits on the desk in your bedroom. You know, like I didn't know those things were invented by African Americans, you know? So I think that's super cool. But no, I don't have any special thing I celebrate.
Okay. Are you going to do anything special the rest of the month?
No, I don't really think so. For me, Black History Month, I try to wake up one day and learn about one new person each day and what they brought to the table, but I don't think I have anything like extra special that I do for this month.
Okay. Only 5% of African American women play collegiate sports, and those who play 4% play soccer. You fall in those statistics. Excuse me. What has kept you playing?
Oh gosh. Honestly, I think my love for the sport has kept me playing so much. You know, there's ups and downs, but I always come back to it. I haven't known life like before soccer. I've been playing since I was 3, so I think also the bond I share with my teammates keeps me going. It's a great group of girls, you know. You come in the morning and you could be having the worst morning of your life, and then they're there and they pick you up and they drag you along and you smile, you have a good time playing the sport you love. And I think my coaches also, the relationship I've grown to build with them over the past few years has really helped that.
So you would say like the relationship that you have with your coach and teammates helped you stay strong as a player?
Oh yes, for sure.
Okay. What inspires you as an athlete to persevere and continue to make a difference on the field?
Oh, okay. So growing up, I personally didn't have a lot of African American role models close to my age that I could look up to, you know, and be like, wow, I want to be just like her. So I think I want to be that for younger generations, you know. I want to be someone to inspire the generations before me where they can look up to me and be like, wow, like look what she's done, look what she is doing, look what she can do. And you know, I want to set the bar that either they can meet it or break it, you know, like she did this, I want to do more than that, you know. I want people to be able to look at me and be like, wow, I can do that too.
Do you feel like you're going to be somebody that young African American women will be able to look up to in the near future?
I hope so. I really hope so. Growing up, I've been the only African American on my team until recently. We got Kendrick Gibson. Club soccer, I was the only African American, you know, first 2 years of college. And so I hope that I can be the role model for younger generations, you know. I hope there's more that come into the sport. And I hope that they can achieve what they want to achieve by looking at us as role models and, you know, going from there.
Were you nervous being like the only African American on the team?
Honestly, no, not at all. I didn't really realize it until this past semester that I was kind of, you know, by myself. Like, color is not really something we look at on the team. I've never felt out of place or, you know, different than my teammates. I show up, you know, we're a family, we love each other. We definitely learn from each other, different cultures, you know, like, I don't know. Food is a big topic. Hair, I taught them a lot about hair. No, I don't think I've ever felt out of place.
So the team is very welcoming and friendly for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for joining us tonight and helping me create a conversation around Black History Month and the importance of, but don't go anywhere yet, Rams, because coming up next, Sydney Wicker has a story on CSU Swimmer and how she has bounced back from surgery. You don't want to miss it.
Yo, Scott. Hey. I'm heading out, man. You want to ride? No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom. Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long. You know, I think I'll just... Dude, are you okay? You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed. Yeah. I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home. Smart man. Did you see how that dog was looking at me?
When it comes to being an athlete, the thought of getting hurt or having something stand in the way of their season is unimaginable.
Not only did CSU swimmer Maddie Ward have 2 injuries, but she fought through one during the entire season.
Laced Up reporter Sydney Wicker sits down with her to find out how she was able to fight through it and already get her name back on top.
During the 2018-2019 swim and dive season, if there was one name you knew of, it was Mattie Ward, constantly breaking records.
So once sophomore year rolled around, I wanted to make sure that I kept that momentum going, and I mean, I really surprised myself. I didn't expect to go as fast as I did, but I was really happy with it.
What people didn't know during that season is that Ward was swimming with a stage 4 hernia in her esophagus, which did not allow her to keep any food down. She would plan her eating schedule around practices just so she could be out there with her team. Nothing was stopping her from being in the pool.
So I wasn't really expecting to be out for 4 or 5 months. I really thought that it would be 8 weeks done and ready to go, but I had to bounce back from 2 surgeries, which was really tough.
Although hearing you have to have another surgery is not what any athlete wants to hear, Ward did not let anything slow her down. She kept pushing just to make sure she was always in the water.
Maddie's a special kid. A lot of that has to do with her upbringing. I don't think she thinks any other way. So there's certain kids, I'll ask them how they're doing. And some kids are like, fine, I'm good, because they don't want to let on that maybe they're sick or they're hurt. And Maddie's that type of kid. She doesn't accept those excuses.
After a trip to Houston and not seeing her name on the roster for the first time all season, it started to hit Mattie Ward that it was time to start recovery and get back in the water as soon as she could.
That Monday, I decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to be in the water every day. I just kind of started doing doubles and doing my own thing, just kind of jumped right back into it.
Not only was it important for Ward to get back into swimming, but it was also important for her teammate, who did not realize what the waters were like without her.
And then I realized, I was like, oh my God, I can't do this without you. So she's like my partner. I need her to be there.
She has a unique ability to take things seriously and not seriously at the same time. So it's kind of a dichotomy. She can look at something and say, hey, it's just swimming, it's just a race, and be relatively relaxed about it. Behind closed doors, her attitude is, I'm in there to win it. Otherwise, why am I doing this?
Ward has been able to break some records so far this season, but being back in the water and coming back from her injury has been the best for her and her team as well.
I think that Maddie's a really great addition to the team, and she's definitely more than just, some people would look at the team and be like, oh, she's the fastest breaststroker, she won conference, but she's more than that.
From the Moby Pool, I'm Sydney Wicker, CTV 11, Laced Up.
Wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, it's just insane to me how athletes push themselves so much just to do their sport that they love.
Yeah, she really was just pushing through all of those struggles and just, coming on top, with even those, and that's crazy.
If I had to sum up what a determined athlete would be, it would be Mattie Ward for sure.
Yeah,
I agree.
Well, don't go anywhere, because after the break, we will be back with Disrupted Picks.
We will find out what students had to say on some of the biggest conversations in sports.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back. It is now time for Disrupted Picks.
For those of you who don't know, we discuss some of the biggest conversations in sports.
And before we get started, we sent Laced Up member Allie Price to see what students had to say first. Allie?
I hit the LSC to see what students' thoughts were on Tom Brady and what he will do this offseason, whether he retires, joins another team, or comes to an agreement with the Patriots.
I think he'll stick it out with the Pats, at least for another year. I don't think he's going anywhere because the Patriots don't really have a backup plan right now. They don't have that guy. Maybe they're looking for someone in the draft, but I don't see that happening. So I'd say another year at least.
I think of my innate sense, football fan. I think he's going to stay with the Pats. I think the Pats just love him so much. They just can't lose him. That's their icon for the last 20 years. And I just feel like they're doing whatever they can to keep him. Whether that's trading first-round picks to get him more weapons, a wide receiver, or giving him a massive contract. I just think they can't afford to lose him.
I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of football, so I don't know. Is it football?
I think he's going to stay one more year. They're going to draft a quarterback this year. And then Tom Brady's going to show him the ropes and teach him what the NFL is about. And then after next year, Tom Brady's going to retire.
For me, I see Tom Brady sticking it out with the Patriots for one more year at the very least. As much as I would love to see him retire this offseason, it's just not realistic. A constant theme that runs with Tom Brady is that he is a competitor and he wants to win. He has built such a strong foundation with the Patriots, and for over a decade now, the Patriots have upheld the reputation of being the ultimate team to beat. In this case, I don't see Tom Brady having any sort of desire to give that up for another team. What do you ladies think?
Well, I personally am not a huge fan of Tom Brady, and I mean, respect as a quarterback, obviously greatest of all time, but he's 42 years old, and he's going to be a free agent for the first time ever in his entire career. So I'm thinking he's either going to stay one more year with the Patriots, or he's going to just completely do something crazy at the end and just surprise everyone. So
well, I think there's more that he has to think about. You know, it's not just Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and Ryan Kraft. You know, the whole foundation. It's they built a team, yes, but he has his family to think about, and he has so much more to think about other than just that. But he did get offered $30 million from the Patriots, so that I don't know about this one. But maybe the Chargers. He's also a free agent, Rivers. So I don't know. I could see him maybe going there.
Yeah, I mean, if he were to go to Chargers, it'd be kind of interesting because you just get rid of a 28-year-old and now you're going to hire on a 42-year-old. We don't really know how much he has left in him. I mean, based off this season alone. I think he would be doing an injustice if he went to another team. I think he just should stay one more year with the Patriots, kind of finish out his career, and then retire. Respectively, just retire.
I don't know about what everyone's saying about him staying with the Patriots. I don't know if you guys have seen the documentary, but he said he feels disrespected by them. So why would he want to stay somewhere where he feels that? I actually agree with you. I think the Chargers are a good place for him to go. He's from California. Yeah. They have cap space. He's going to get paid there. And, as a Chiefs fan, I'd love to see him there because I want to see the Chiefs beat him every year. Twice.
What if he pulled one and went to the 49ers? Just kidding.
That'd be sad for Garoppolo.
No, I love Garoppolo. Come on. He's not going anywhere.
We'll see.
But Brady, we don't know.
I have some more things to say because I really am pushing for him to go to the Chargers. Because, I think he would look at them and see that they have a pretty good team. They have Keenan Allen, they have Hunter Henry, and, I think he wants to go somewhere where he can win. And the games they lost, they were 5-11 last year. Mm-hmm. But the games they lost, it was by a touchdown or less in 9 games.
So you think Tom Brady going to the Chargers is actually going to really make a difference for the Chargers?
I don't know, but I think he could see it as a place where he could win.
I hope not. I'm a Broncos fan, so either way, we're gonna be beating them. So.
You won't be winning the division
now. Saw that one coming.
All right. For our second disruptive picks question, Allie, what did you ask the students?
I asked students what their thoughts were on women playing in professional leagues such as the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, and more.
If you're able to do it, why not? I think that would be great to see some of those kicking some butt.
I think it would be awesome. It's so cool. I grew up watching hockey with my family a lot, and I always thought it was cool. But it would be so cool to see a woman out there doing the same things. They can do the same things. It'd be awesome to have someone to look up to that's also a woman.
I feel like it's any other industry, right? I don't know. Maybe there's a bit of a stigma. I feel like a lot of it's gone away, especially people like Becky Hammond. If they're fit for the job, they coach. They should be treated just like the guys because they work just as hard, I imagine.
I think it's great that they're being more involved in the industry. Katie Sowers really has a great position with 49ers. She was the first female to ever be a part of a team to be in the Super Bowl, so that's awesome. I really think it could go a long way, and I think a lot more women should be involved.
I completely agree. Women like Katie Sowers and Kelsey Martinez and so many more have already broken so many barriers as far as women in the sports industry. And I just think that they're just paving the way for these female athletes to just kind of step in and show them what they got. And young women throughout the country are playing football for their high school teams. I went to high school with a girl who was fully capable of being a part of the men's hockey team, and they wouldn't let her on the team because she was a woman. So I feel like I think it would be a good idea, but my only concern with this notion is that male athletes might not play to their full potential and being worried about physically hurting the girls, but that would be my only concern.
See, I don't think that sports should be limited to gender regardless. I think that women have just as much capability of that, and even hockey, you brought up hockey, they have those co-ed teams, and those co-ed teams play hard, and they're not competing against stuff, but they still do play and they still do have them. I think that we could get somewhere with that. And I hope we do.
I just think there's just a huge difference between playing in high school and playing in the professional league. And I'm not saying, if a woman wants to play football, like, go for it. You will probably be good at it. But you have to consider the weight and size in a professional league. It's so much different from high school. And I think that there's a lot of, risks that are played in. But, I mean, if a woman wants to play, like, I think she could. I just think that it needs to be justified with the risks that are going to happen.
I agree. I think sports are the ultimate meritocracy, so the best players move up. And that's, like, the women have to bring their A game and be as good as the men if they play together.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing that I've thought of, like, I think this would be so cool, is if it was the Olympics, if they all could compete together. I think that that would just be such a cool thing because you're the highest level athletes. So, yeah. We are going to take a quick break, Rams, but we will be returning. We will be diving into love.
That's right. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and we talk with Coach Nico Medved and his wife, Erica,
on what life is like as a head coach, a husband, and a dad. You do not want to miss it.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Recently, the hashtag #GirlDad has been all over social media. The hashtag started from SportsCenter's Ellie Duncan, and she talks about how her only conversation she ever had with Kobe was about how much he enjoyed being a girl dad.
Fathers with daughters have been sharing pictures of them with their daughters. The underlying message is that it has been promoting girls and how important father-daughter relationships as well as the importance of female athletics.
CSU men's basketball head coach Nico Medved knows what it is like to be a girl dad himself. While working in sports is already a crazy lifestyle itself, being a father and a husband are 2 other characteristics that he values. Laced Up reporter Jessica Mendoza spoke with him and his family.
In his second year as head coach of the CSU men's basketball team, Nico Medved spends much of his time working or on the road with the team. But Medved is more than just a coach. He's a father to 9-month-old Taylor and 2-year-old Allie.
I think I'm blessed to have 2 girls. I always joke I'm around these clowns every day, right? These guys, and kind of to go home and have 2 young girls, I think is really cool. It kind of gives me a really healthy perspective on life.
Nico balances being a father, husband, and coach by blending his family on the court with his family at home. But he couldn't do it all without his wife, Erica.
I don't think people realize how much work it is for her. I've got a tough job. She's got an incredibly tough job. Me not always being able to be around all the time. I try to be involved as many things as I can, but sometimes that's not reality. She's just a rock and a rock star that way for me and our family.
It's 2 against 1 sometimes. Obviously, 2 kids, and then you're trying to juggle that, but that's life. We also try to say, it's about the quality of the time that we have together, not necessarily the quantity, and so we make the most of that time.
Erica, Allie, and Taylor are always in Moby Arena, not just cheering on their favorite coach, but all the guys on the court who they consider a family.
But we're there to support their dad, we're there to support the team, which is really an extension of our family.
That's what's so sad when players that not only you make a connection with, but your family does and your children, and then they graduate and they're not here anymore. It'll be hard, I think, for Allie to understand, how come Nico's not on the team anymore? That'll be hard for her. But I think it's great, and not just for our children, but all of my staff as children. They have a lot of young children too, and just for them to interact in their families, with our players, it's like having another family.
But at home, the Medveds maximize their time together in ways that may or may not surprise you.
As a family, I would say our oldest makes us do a dance party pretty much every night, and Nico gets involved and she'll hand him an extra set of pom-poms, which is kind of fun.
I love seeing them grow up, but in some ways I wish they would just stay this old forever.
From Moby Arena, Jessica Mendoza, CTV Sports.
The whole girl hashtag thing for me speaks volumes, just because I'm one of 5 girls in my family, and my dad coached all of us in every sport that we've ever played, and my 2 older sisters both went on to play college softball, so that whole hashtag, it means a lot.
Yeah, see, I'm the only girl. I have 2 older brothers, opposite, but my parents always say they got blessed with 1 girl, so my dad's able to be a girl dad in some way.
Yeah, and I'm an only child, so my dad is the ultimate girl dad, and he really just fostered my love of sports. I grew up in China. We would get up in the middle of the night to watch football, and so that was just really special, and this hashtag is really important to see that relationship between fathers and daughters. But while on the topic of love, one of the things we try to promote through Laced Up is loving and empowering each other.
When the show first started, we wanted to inspire women to be able to run a full show like we do and encourage more women to take on jobs in the sports industry.
Just last week, Wednesday was National Women and Girls in Sports Day. We would like to take this time to honor all the women that helped create Laced Up: Aspen Flores, director; Sydney Wicker, producer and reporter; Hattie Williams, audio;
Katie Nelson, technical director; Emily Piskey, camera; Allie Small, prompter;
Alexandra Collin, camera; Allie Price, reporter; Jessica Mendoza, camera and reporter;
Angel Cooper, reporter; Janaea Hancock, social media coordinator; Rose Carter, reporter;
Rachel Hallam, reporter; and Terah Barrio, reporter. Thank you for all that you do.
Well, Rams, that is all we have time for tonight. Thank you for being a part of our show and helping us make history and continuing to break barriers.
But we will be back on March 11th. But for now, to stay updated on sports throughout the week, be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at sports_CTV.
Tune back in tomorrow for more news from the people you know and to see Cam Evig previewing the CSU men's basketball game against Wyoming on Saturday. But until next time, keep changing the game and have a great night, Rams.